how do you release strong negative emotions through catharsis?
You can attach meaning to your life, but that meaning is yours and yours alone. It's not objective. It's not an absolute.
Have you ever had a time when you were so angry, so fucking angry, or so sad, like you were so sad, like you just couldn't stop crying, or you couldn't stop screaming, and you were like super pissed off, that you just completely forgot why you were pissed off? Can you remember a time like that? And how eerie was the feeling of peace after you were done expressing that emotion? Peace and calmness and just this emptiness and this being present in the moment might have been a very confusing yet liberating feeling. What I want to propose to you is that perhaps this feeling could be the key to liberating you from some of your darkest, most negative, strongest negative emotions in you. So how do you release negative emotions? You just release them. That's it. Well, think of the time when you were super angry. How did you release that anger? Exactly, you expressed it. Finding a way to express it, whether it's through art, through catharsis, through writing about it, whatever it is, you have to find a way to release it. And catharsis is one of the strongest and most least talked about ways to release those emotions, but it is just as powerful, if not more powerful, than any other method out there, in my opinion. You know the problem why we don't talk about this very much is because it's a very, taboo topic. It makes people very uncomfortable to talk about vulnerability and letting go of your emotions. Most people, for example, you remember when maybe one of your close friends just came up to you with the worst news possible, and they just started crying for no reason, and you were really caught off guard and you didn't know what to do, and maybe you felt uncomfortable, oh, why is he crying? What do I do? Should I give him a hug? Should I give him a tap on the back? Should I keep my distance to let it out, What should I say? Should I console him? Should I say good things? Should I run away? Catharsis makes us uncomfortable. It's not something we really do on a regular basis. Actually, we shouldn't do that on a regular basis. I think this type of release probably happens maybe once every several months or once every few years, and it's just when something really hardcore happens to us, then we have to release it, right? This video is for you, whether you have a anger fucking explosion once a day, or you cry every day, or you cry once every 20 years, or you feel lethargic and you can't feel emotions anymore, and you're wondering, well, how can I release emotions if I'm not feeling any emotions? This video is for you. This video is for you if you have a hard time expressing your emotions. When you feel, let's say, sad or depressed, you don't know how to express it, and it just builds up and you have no idea how to communicate it to other people or to yourself even. For example, you have a hard time labeling your emotions, and for no reason you just feel sad and depressed and you have no idea where it comes from. Or you have a hard time laughing wholeheartedly, expressing intense joy. If you've never had tears of joy in your life, then maybe that could be something that could help you out, because the people that are happiest, in my opinion, are the people that are most in touch with those emotions. They know how to express it, they know how to channel it, they know what to do with them, and they know how to be comfortable with them, and they don't run away from them. So if you run away from emotions, if you like to escape a lot, this video is also for you. I'm just going to outline the basics here, but just to get you started with this. What is catharsis? Catharsis is the process of releasing and thereby providing relief from strong or repressed emotions. That's the Google translation. So it's really letting go, really. It's really expressing it out. There's good ways of doing it and wrong ways of doing it. So, for example, maybe you had a time when you felt really sad. You have this macho stereotype that men never cry, or strong women never cry, or independent women don't cry. Maybe you had this ambivalence inside you. Maybe you shed a tear and you're like, oh, I don't fucking cry, I'm a man. And then, you expressed it a little bit and then you quickly repress it. you express a bit of anger, and then you quickly turn it into passive aggression. You retreat back and you try to hold back whatever emotions you're fearing. Or you're feeling a lot of fear, and then you just like hide it. You're like, no, I can't feel fear. I cannot feel fear. And then you run away from it. Maybe you go and escape distractions, television, movies. On top of that, as you're doing so, you beat yourself up over those emotions. You beat yourself up over feeling fear. You beat yourself up over feeling anger. You beat yourself up for feeling sad and depressed. You tell yourself, oh, I'm depressed, but I'm such a piece of shit. Fuck this, I can't feel depressed. And obviously it just gets worse and worse and worse. For example, you start crying for 10 minutes. And then the more you cry, the worse it got, and it just spiraled down and you couldn't stop crying. When you spiral down like this is not actually a healthy way of doing it. Because as you're crying, you're beating yourself up over it, and you're reinforcing the need. You're reinforcing the lack of the pain, resisting the pain as you're crying. The point of catharsis is to let go of it. Is for it to be gone, right? You re-traumatize yourself. Tell yourself after this, well, that was horrible that I got angry and just like punched all the walls in my house, and I destroyed half my fucking basement. So I don't want to do that again. So I'm never gonna feel angry ever again. See, so now you re-traumatize yourself and like you shame yourself for your own anger. It's not constructive, it's destructive. So how do you actually go through a release of negative emotion? Let go of them through catharsis. Well, the first thing that you can do is find a comfortable spot. My favorite spots to just think and let go or whatever are my room or my car. So maybe I'll just lay down on my bed. Whatever thoughts come up in my mind, if I'm feeling sad or angry or frustrated, I'll let those thoughts just come to me. Find a spot where you will not be interrupted for the next 30 minutes or so. Longer than 30 minutes and you're kind of pushing it. You're kind of lingering in those emotions are a little too long. And shorter than that, then you don't really have the time to fully experience those emotions. It might take you 10 minutes. It might take you 1 minute of just like punching all the walls in your fucking house. And then a minute later, you're okay. Or it might take you 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Step number 2 is whatever negative emotions that you're feeling that are really strong, really focus on those. Don't try to run away from them. But as you lie there motionless or sit there motionless, try to remember what triggered those emotions. For example, if you feel really lonely and really isolated, rejected, try to remember that time when you felt really rejected, isolated, alone. That time, that girl that you really liked completely rejected you, and you thought you really liked her so much, or the girl you thought that you were gonna live together with for the rest of your life. So focus on those emotions. Focus on those emotions. Or remember that time when you got really, really angry at that person, or something that triggered you. That something they did. Maybe they took advantage of you. Maybe they manipulated you. Maybe they took something from you. Maybe they lied to you, right? Maybe you thought that person was your friend, and it just turned out that they were just some Machiavellian fuck that was just wanted to use you for their stupid means, right? Think about that. Think of how weak you felt, how used you felt, how paranoid, how confused you felt, how small you felt, and how it makes you feel small now just to think about it, and how vulnerable you feel. Try to remember that. Maybe you have some songs from several years ago that you used to play when you were really sad, or from recently that you played or you heard that makes you sad, reminds you of a past memory with someone or a past memory with something. Play those songs and try to focus on those negative feelings. Now, if you're doing that for the first time, what might happen the first time is you just lie down on your bed and you're like, you don't feel anything. You're confused, you lie down motionless and you're like, I don't know what I feel. And this might happen. stay with the feeling, because that's the tendency of the mind. Of whenever you're feeling those emotions, you just want to resist them. You want to throw them away. You don't want to look at them, right? That's the common reaction that we have. So it's just fine. Just lie down on your bed or sit on that chair and just wait. Don't do anything, and in a few minutes you might start feeling the emotions bubbling up slowly but surely. Usually it starts around the chest area and might move all the way up to your throat, maybe, right, to your head. Maybe your body will start feeling a little agitated. If you feel intense emotions at some point, completely fine. Let them come up. And then, very important, when the emotions come up, really let it out completely. It doesn't matter how ridiculous you think you look, how crazy you think you look, how desperate you think you look, how weak you think you look, how miserable you think you look. Cry it out. If you're gonna cry for 30 minutes, cry for 30 minutes. If you're gonna punch a fucking wall or a fucking pillow for 30 minutes, do it for 30 minutes. If you're gonna scream for 30 minutes, just scream for 30 minutes. If you're gonna lie down and do nothing for 30 minutes and feel this confusion and this emptiness and this void, and you wonder why you can't feel anything, feel it for 30 minutes. Just feel it. And focus on your breathing. Focus on the emotion itself. Focus on the sensation as you're going through it, right? When you start off, you might linger on the event, linger on that person that made you feel that way, or linger on the situation that as you release those emotions, focus on the emotion itself. And focus on that emotion so intensely. Get completely immersed in that emotion. Become that emotion. And once you become that emotion, you completely forget why you were feeling those emotions, because you were letting go so intensely. And after a few seconds, a few minutes, you might just lie down there and wonder, wait, what was I sad about? Why do I feel so peaceful now? Why do I feel so full and complete now? Why do I feel so present right now? Why do I feel so liberated right now? And after you've done this, I want you to focus on those feelings of relief, of any positive emotions that you have, of peace, of calmness after you've released it. Now, hopefully the event in your head is basically gone, or it had faded away if you've released all of it, and you give yourself permission to release all of it. I want you to linger on those feelings of peace and calmness and relief. And that is that is how you release negative emotions. And that is why we have negative emotions. Because those negative emotions are there so we can feel this amazing feeling of calmness and peace once we release them. Two faces of the same coin. Positive emotion, negative emotion, whatever. I don't think we should separate them. I think they come together. And that's fine if we feel really sad or really angry one day. It's fine if we want to release it. It's fine. So you may feel more lightheadedness, lightheartedness, more confident in yourself, more self-loving, more self-accepting. As you finish off this catharsis, what you can do is do a little visualization of imagining yourself as a child. If you have a picture of you when you were a child, that could help you visualize yourself better, so it's more clear in your head. And then your adult self, your adult now. Imagine yourself as your own father, your own mother, and giving yourself a pat on the back or a hug to yourself. Telling yourself, it's okay, I'm here. I'm here for you. It's okay, I'm here for you. and tell yourself, hey, it's okay, I'm here for you. Because that's all you need. All you need is yourself. You don't need other people to comfort you. All you need to comfort you is yourself. So use yourself. Really get in touch with yourself. So thank you guys for watching. This was how to release strong negative emotions, catharsis. And this is a very deep topic, a little hard to talk about because a lot of people are, they don't want to talk about it because it makes them feel vulnerable, revealed, weak. They don't want to cry. They don't want to punch people. They don't want to release it. They like to bottle it up and escape from it. But I really believe this is at the root of shadow work or the dark side of self-improvement. So you gotta fucking do it. And listen, maybe you're watching this and you're feeling fine and you don't have any strong negative emotions and you're like, oh well, I don't have anything to release, then that's fine. Rewatch this video in a few months or in a few years when you'll find yourself caught in this negative spiral. And we all have this, in my opinion, we all have this dark side that we have to address. All of us. So make the jump and don't be afraid of your dark side, because this is where you'll find the most inner growth, the most self-understanding, and the most self-actualization. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time, bitches. Yes. Gonna stretch. No, the battery's dead. I thought I changed the stupid battery. No.